So hey guys, this is Silver as well as Pseudocode. So today we are going to learn about SQL injection, like very basic about it, and we are going to solve in this 14 lab also. So we have this username and password field in any kind of login form or where the site is vulnerable. So basically the first step is like the hacker's first step is like hacker actually identifies vulnerability which is like SQL driven and injects malicious SQL query via input data. Then after it provides this kind of input to this input boxes or like form. So after that what it actually happens, the data will directly send it to the database, and where the malicious SQL query is validated and command is executed by database. Then what database does, database sends the result output, like it result output whatever the malicious payload had done into database to back to the hacker. So basically hacker is like he granted the access to view and alter records or potentially act as database administrator. So what we actually can do here is like let me go through. Okay, so we are in the lab. This is our lab actually. Okay, so you guys can see, let's try out with this. You can see access denied. Okay, single quote, again we have access denied. Let's move to see source code. Okay, so array key exists with username, which is actually requesting using a request parameter, and where the link is like this is connected to the local host with the legal Natas 4, and this is the password which is censored. Now the MySQL DB, which is linked with the Natas 14 lab. Now query, so let's start from users, where username, whatever the username is this, and password. When this matches, the array key will use the get parameter and execute the query. And if it does not matches, or if if it correctly matches, it will show successfully login, and it will show the password for Natas 15, like which is censored. And if it's not, I will directly return access denied. So basically this is written in PHP. So what we have to do is like let's try another parameter. So we don't have to do anything, we can just use a classic SQL injection payload. So basically let's just put admin here and let's try. Okay, so again we have access denied. So now what I can do is like let's put column, and if we try it, okay, we got something which is like warning MySQL num rows, expect parameter 1 to be MySQL result bool given to this kind of. Okay, so this is something which is hosted on his server, like Apache server or something. So let's go back, and now it's actually simple. We can go through this, like we can write or one hash. Okay, now hashtag. So you might wonder like why I'm using hashtag. So we are using this because we don't wanna break the rest of the query, so we will just provide this. If we don't provide it, maybe it work. Let's try this. Maybe it work. Nah, it didn't work. So basically what happening here is like it breaks the query actually. Okay, so this thing, if we don't enter here like hashtag, it actually breaks the query, which is like you guys can understand, like when the queries break, the output will not shown to the the input fields are not given to the database, and database will nothing database will return nothing to us. Okay, so this works like that. Suppose you have a scenario, you have to select star from users, like star refers to everyone. Select star from users, where your username is like whatever the username, and the password is like something whatever it is. Now suppose a login form takes input and directly plugs it into this query without sanitizing it. The final SQL command becomes SQL, sorry, so let's start from users where username admin or like this one admin or, but before that it's like username only and passwords. But when we see like it's not sanitized, so what it does actually, the query will become like, let me write something. Okay, so let's take the scenario. Okay, so basic case. Okay, so basic case is like this command select okay, so this is something like our query we written after that. So let's move it here. Okay, so this is the actual query, like how it taking the input from the this and return it to backend. So basically choosing like select start from users, whatever the table is given here, where username dollar username, whatever the username of the user, and password and whatever the password of the user. It takes this as only, but when we put this when we put uh, admin apostrophe or 1 equals to 1 and hashtag, it actually the query is actually like it's changed, so it becomes actually this one. Okay, so this actually becomes this SQL becomes this one. So let's go and try it out once. Okay, so we got this. If we put hashtag like this, okay, so we actually get an access to the admin, and this is a flag for Natas 15 lab. Okay, so this is like a very basic example to get you into SQL Injection. And for furthermore, this is just a basic example. You don't have to like think like everything like you go on some website and try to do this thing. Like abhi to websites are like very advanced, so you can't do this actually, because this is a classic payload. You need to learn some tools like SQL map. uh, you need to know a very good knowledge of SQL injection. So if you want to learn this, I'm gonna make this video on like before I like first I will teach you the SQL, and then after that I will teach you like how SQL injection works and how you can do it too, and my methodologies to hunt flags and bugs. That's it. So that's it actually for today's video, and I hope you guys like it.